Today we're going to learn a lesson called Fun with Rhymes. We're going to learn about beginning sounds and ending sounds, and we're going to use nursery rhymes to do this. So, do you know what a rhyme is? Can you give me an example of two rhyming words?
Bat and mat.
Bat and mat. That's a great example. And what do those two have in common?
At.
The at. That's right. That's called an ending sound. Your beginning sound would be your B, B, or your M, M. And they would both have the at. So we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it with the poem Humpty Dumpty. And I'm going to read to you the poem first, and then we're going to read the poem together. Okay? All right, I will start it out first. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Now, I'm going to ask you to come up, hold on one second, and use the pointer, okay? And whenever you get the pointer, you're going to do our one-to-one matching and use it to point at the words as we say them. Now, I want you to listen for the words that make those same ending sounds all throughout the nursery rhyme, okay? So come on up, and we're going to read it again. I want you to point to it as we read it together, okay? Go ahead. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Okay, so can you point at, go ahead and hold the pointer, point at the words. We're going to look at the first two sentences. I'm going to reread them real quick. You want to point as I read them? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Now, besides Humpty and Dumpty, can you give me two words that might have that same ending sound? Wall and fall. Good job. Would you like to circle those for us? Go ahead and take the marker and circle it. Circle real big. Great job. Now, the ending sound. What is the ending sound? What do they have in common?
All.
All. The, what, A-L-L, right? Okay, so I'm going to ask you to underline that so that we remember what it is that they have in common. Okay, this is all. You can go ahead and have a seat, please. So if you were saying this word, we could say all. All. And do you hear the sound that it makes, that the all is the same in both words? Can you give me an example of another word that might have all as an ending sound?
Ball.
Ball. Let's see if I have that one. Okay, ball. And any other ones that you can think of?
Mall.
Mall. Did you say mall? All right. And then, let's see, I have a few others here. I have tall, call, and haul. Can we say these together? Okay. I want you to sound out the beginning sound and then the ending sound. You ready? I'll point to them as we do it. B, all, m, all, all, t, all, k, all. And what do they all have in common? All. You recognize that when we said that, every time we said it, we said all after it, right? So these are called word families, and this would be in the all word family. So these are all words that you can use, and we'll write these down in our reading journals in just a little while. What we're going to do now is an activity that I've prepared for you. This activity has beginning sounds and ending sounds inside. So for example, This sound is in. And we have a space at the beginning of this. And what we're going to do is put different letters on this. So each of y'all are going to get a baggie. And you're going to have your baggie with all your beginning sounds and your ending sounds. And you're going to get out your reading journal. And we're going to write the new words that we're finding, the word families that we have, and the beginning and the ending sounds that we're using. So for example, this one is in. And if I put these letters right there in the beginning of it, what word would that make?
Chin.
Chin, right. And then I need to change it. What would this make?
Bin.
Bin. You're right. So this is what you're going to do whenever you get your bag. For another example, this one is ugh. So let's say we took these same letters that we used with bin, and we put them on this word.
Bug.
Bug,
Chug.
chug, and we'll keep going. We'll put new beginning sounds on the ending sounds, and we'll write them down as we learn them and as we come up with them, okay? So this is the activity that we're going to do. And we're going to give you about 15 or 20 minutes to work on this, and I'm going to walk around and see what you're doing. And if you have any questions or need any help, maybe I can help you think of some ways to brainstorm new word families and ending sounds. Okay, for our next activity, we're going to do the same thing we did with this nursery rhyme, except we're going to do Jack and Jill. Have you heard of Jack and Jill before? Yes? You heard the poem, the nursery rhyme before?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, you're going to hear it today, and it's a very good nursery rhyme. It's very fun. So we're going to do it the same way. I'm going to read it once to you, and then we're going to read it together, and I'll have you come up and point at the words again, okay? Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. So in these first two sentences, just like in the last poem, did you hear any with your ears? Did you hear some ending sounds that were similar?
Ill.
The ill was an ending sound. Well, go ahead and come up and let's reread it together. So even though you've already heard that ill, we're going to reread it one more time and see if there might be more in the same nursery rhyme that might have the same. So open your ears, okay, and listen and use your reader's ears to remember the things that you might hear with the same ending sounds. So go ahead. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Can you point to words? Did you hear any other words in that nursery rhyme? Down and crown. Good job. And do you notice what's at the beginning of this one? Instead of one letter in front of the elm, it's what? Two letters, and that's called a blend, where two letters blend together to make a sound. So I'm going to get the markers again. And would you mind again? Go ahead and circle the rhyming words. You said the first ones, go ahead and do down and crown. Great job. Now what were the other two that you said?
Jill, Hill.
Jill and Hill. Go ahead and circle those for me. All right, so we remember that now we're going to underline what they had in common. So what did that have in common? What does Jill and Hill have in common?
Ill.
That's right, the I-L-L. Go ahead. Okay, and then what did this one have in common? Elm. Go ahead and underline that for us. Great job. And do you remember what we called this?
Ending sound.
Ending sound. Great job. Go ahead and have a seat. say them again for you so that you can hear the differences. Ill. Ill. Own. Own. And do you remember in our activity whenever we had the N and you were able to put a blend on the front of that, the CH for ch, N. So it's two letters that blend to make the one sound. So a few words that we have that also go along with these. Do you know of any other words that might have the ill as the ending sound?
Mill.
Mill would be one, right? What else? Till, right? We could have, what's this one? Will. Bill, that's right. And then the other was down and crown, right? Can you think of another word that might use own? What's something that's at the circus and has a red nose? Clown, is that one? And then there's a color that has own at the end. Brown, great job. So it sounds like you've had a great lesson and you've learned a lot. Did you learn a lot today?